Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Cryptids and Monsters video. Alright, another entry here based on one of your newer suggestions. I thought I would mix this in during Super Bowl Sunday. I'm not too big of a fan of pretty much any sports game or sports industry, so I thought I would mix this in as a nice treat for everybody. That way when y'all are finished watching the big game, then you'll be able to see this on your YouTube subscription. And this one I picked also because it reminded me of one of my more, I guess, well-known videos, the Aswang, which I'll include a link for it below. One of the videos that has had a larger set of views than others. And this is because this creature is also very deadly. It comes across humans, hunts them, eats them, then moves on to the next type of target. So lots of good information to share. It has to do with this. This is the cryptid or slash demon, according to Slavic mythology, known as the Strzyga. And I hope I'm saying that correctly, but again, phonetically, that's at least how it apparently is said. So here's all the information tied to this very deadly creature. So what is the Strzyga? Well, again, it is a mythological creature, a Slavic mythological creature that has been around for a long time. So much so that, again, it's been mixed into their mythology. And it seems to have a unique characteristic. It seems like it's actually more along the lines of a female version of this cryptid rather than, say, something along the lines of a male version. It also goes by several different names. There's the Strzyga, but on its more, I guess, not commonly known male version, there's the Stryzig or the Stryzigon. Then it also goes by the Stryha, and then if you wanted one more to mix in, it's called also the Strix. So lots of variations when it comes to its name. But for all intents and purposes, its most unique aspect, being a female, seems to be the Strzyga. And it, again, has been around so long, so much so that it's a tale of some sort that is passed down between Polish people and the Slavic people as well. And then there's very unique characteristics in terms of determining what is a Strzyga. So according to the folklore that's associated there, if someone is born, but somehow people know that they're born with two hearts and or two souls and or two sets of teeth, in this case, the second set of teeth, one has to really check the mouth to make sure that they can see it because it's barely visible, then they're believed to be the so-called Strzyga. So it seems like the idea is, again, according to Slavic mythology, that these Stryzigas come from us. Like they actually are born out of humans. Who knows how in terms of what determines the Stryziga, but still, it seems like that is the main consensus. And when that happens, then either they're chased off, and then this newborn Stryziga grows up to become a full born, like a full matured Strzyga, or they're just killed at a young age. Either way, it seems like that's the main consensus of what happens to it. Either it dies at birth, if it's found out it's Strzyga, or later on in life when it develops into those characteristics, then it's gone. With regards to it also, there's another aspect. It seems like another way that these Stryzigas come about is they are the troubled souls of the dead. So even if someone dies, it seems like regular person dies, then they rise out of the ground, and when that happens, some of them take on the form of a Strzyga. I don't know exactly how that necessarily happens. It seems like it's the idea that if someone is born with those two souls, as I mentioned earlier, then whenever they die a regular death, that second soul kicks in, and then that's when it passes onto them to bring it to make them come back to life, and that's when they start essentially hunting other people that are out there. As far as how they look like, it seems like they have a mixture of multiple forms. Some of them seems to be like they have the form of an owl mixed in with a humanoid, and this is because these Stryzigas can seemingly fly at night. They have such an ease when it comes to doing that. It's one of their main ways of hunting people down, being able to do so. They in fact favor nighttime travelers. So if you're in those areas there in Poland, who knows where, then you happen to hear the fluttering, the very, very strong fluttering of, let's say, something flying about, much larger than, say, an owl or something that would resemble a bird, then you might just have a Strzyga nearby your area. They also seem to prey on people who mistakenly wander off into the woods. So maybe a tourist of some sort, maybe a local, someone that doesn't necessarily know the area or gets lost, maybe being drunk, who knows. But when that happens, then it becomes fair play for these Strzygas. And again, they are very, very deadly. They will hunt people down, kill them, suck out all their blood, eat all their insides, and then when that happens, they move on to their next victim. Sometimes, though, it seems like they may not have much time or much leeway to hunt down humans, because almost like, I think it was within that video, the same thing with Alice Wong, if they do so too often, then they'll run a risk of people knowing where they are, and then they in turn will be hunted themselves. So when that happens, in order to cause confusion or to let the news die down, no pun intended, when it comes to them hunting people, then they just simply stop for a while and they satisfy themselves with animal blood. So anything that's there in the forests, any other animals that are out there, it seems like they are in turn hunting those creatures just for a short period until it's good to go, until they have an opportunity to start hunting humans again. But yeah, as far as their other characteristics, others, it seems like they look like your average zombie as well. Because some of them that come back to life from the dead, they don't necessarily heal and look human-like again. No, in this case, they look like your average zombie because of their rotted corpse, their decomposing carcass, whatever the case may be. But yes, that's another way, another characteristic of how they look like too. And then also, when it comes to the Strzygas and killing them, it seems like the only way to do so is you have to decapitate them. And not only that, but you have to bury the head separate from the body, because it's according to the information there that's listed online, even if you kill a Strzyga, you cannot, let's say, count on it not coming back to life yet again. In this case, you have to keep the head separate, bury the body completely different somewhere else. This helps prevent it from rising from the ground yet again. And then also burying the body face down with a sickle somewhere around this location also seems to prevent this Strzyga from being able to rise up from the dead. So if you ever have, I guess, any tourist time later on in the future there in the Poland, Slavic areas, it'd be good to see if anyone knows any tales people related about their experiences or the folklore tied to the Strzyga, and see if, yes, if those are the ways to kill the Strzyga, if they truly absolutely work. Interestingly enough, one last bit of information with regards to this deadly creature, there's another side that states that these creatures aren't necessarily out to harm people, that they maybe the legends are not true regarding their deadly habits towards humans, but instead they're there to herald death, almost like the Grim Reaper. So if you see a Strzyga and you're on the side that they're not going to harm you, again, I don't know why there's another group of people that believe this compared to all the other, I guess, mythological tales that state that these Strzygas are absolutely deadly. But still, if you believe that fact, and let's say a Strzyga doesn't hurt you, well, you're still not out of the woods yet, because in that case, they're simply there to herald your death, meaning you're going to have something in terms of an imminent death soon if you see one of these Strzygas off in the distance and it doesn't outright kill you right then and there. So pretty interesting stuff, again, comparing the two completely separate factions, one believing they're absolutely deadly to creatures, to humans and animals, and hunt them down, and then the other one stating that they're not harmful to humans up front. Instead, they're just more like a warning that something bad is going to happen to you thereafter. But that's it. That's pretty much all the information tied to this mythological creature, the Slav mythological creature called the Strzyga. If anyone has any more information about it, I tried to see if there was, let's say, more common tales, something recent, something from the, let's say, 1990s, the 2000s or so, but no, nothing. There seems to be no let's say online postings from people stating that they've run into these things. So if anyone has any more information about that, please post those comments. That would be really, really awesome to hear. And again, anyone from that area knows the folklore tied to it, much like again the Aswang being so popular in this region. Imagine something like this being so popular there. So if anyone has more information tied to that, please post those comments below. Great to hear. All right, everybody, thanks again as always. Take care.